Hey, you remember what I told you before about the characteristics of oxygen-hydrogen flames. The heat is very focused. You do not have a lot of radiant heat. And you'll see where my hand is. Even with that huge flame, here is only warm. The heat is being thrown out far. So there, the heat is very high. But here, it's barely warm. Now, this shows you that this type of fuel is very, very efficient. The heat goes where you want it to. One of the things that our fuel is very good at is for commercial cooking. And I want to show you why our fuel has distinct advantages over traditional gas for cooking. All right. As you can see here, these are burners that are specifically designed for commercial cooking. Nice big hot flames. This is what you would see in a typical restaurant. But commercial cooking has distinct problems and risks. One of those risks is with fires, cooking fires, especially oil fires and grease fires. Now, let's say this is a small restaurant doing cooking, typical Asian-style cooking using a lot of oil. You run the risk of having an oil fire or a grease fire. And let's say we're in a restaurant and they're doing cooking and they have such a fire. Now, normally you have two distinct dangers in having a grease fire or an oil fire. The first danger is right here where you're doing the cooking. If you have a grease fire and oil fire, you have to put that fire out. But you have a second danger that is even more of a risk, and that is if the tanks that are holding the gas, if they are exposed to this fire, you run the risk of an explosion. And that explosion could not only kill the cook, but it could also kill everybody in the restaurant, and in fact, everybody on the entire block. So let's say we're involved in that scenario right now. We have an oil fire or a grease fire right here. You cannot reach these controls to turn off the gas. If this is normal cooking gas, your only option right now is to run as fast as you can before you die. But with this gas, we have another option, and I'll show you exactly what that is. If we have an oil fire or a grease fire here, all we need to do is go over to the machine that's producing the gas and push this button. I just stopped the gas from being produced. This machine is no longer producing gas. That means, as you can see from the pressure going down, the only gas that will come to this burner is the gas that is in the line. No tanks, because our fuel is on demand. That means it's much easier to fight this fire. You don't need to care about the source of the gas because there is no gas tank to worry about. So you can stay here, work on putting out the fire. Okay, now that the fire has been put out, you're in business. You want to get back into business as quickly as possible, right? So this is where the other advantage in our fuel comes in. Okay, now the fire's out. You want to get back to the business of cooking. How do you do that? It's very simple. You come back over to this machine. You turn this knob. Turn the power back on. Push this gas production button. You see the light comes on. And the machine starts producing gas. Now, how much time does it take to make the gas? We'll show you right now. Takes almost no time at all. In fact, our machines reach full working pressure in 30 seconds or less. Virtually gas whenever you need it, totally on demand. Now, just to show you again what on demand means, this machine right now, it shows you exactly how much current you're using to produce the gas. And here you can see the pressure gauge is building. When our machines reach the maximum level that's set at the factory, the machines will stop producing gas. When this happens, it's very easy to see. What just happened, this light went off, this light went on. This tells you you have reached gas pressure, maximum gas pressure, and this is how much current is being used to produce gas. Right now, 0. You don't need it. You have no demand, so it's not producing the gas. Gas on demand. No storage tanks, no gas tanks, much higher safety, much more convenient, no pollution, no risk. Thank you. Okay. One of the other applications that this fuel is very useful for is for steam boilers, generating huge amounts of steam or hot water for applications like spas, hospitals, hotels, anything like that. This fuel works very well either by itself or as dual fuel if you want to supplement your existing system by using our fuel together with yours. Okay, so here we have a steam boiler. We'll turn it on. One of the things that you might notice is the burner on this boiler points straight down. This is very unusual. Normally, the burners will point either to the side or up. But again, our fuel produces a very focused heat, so we can actually have this firing down and still have it work correctly. Okay, so the burner is creating steam in here, and if you look out here, so I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this, and if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask.